And good morning, everyone. Welcome to the webinar. Today is part one of the two-part series with Anthem. The second part will be on March 8th. Today, our focus is going to be on the Anthem Enhanced Choice piece. And, you know, if you do have a question about other products and whatnot, there'll be time at the end of the presentation to touch on that. You know, right at the end of the presentation, we do a Q&A on just about everything. But today's focus is going to be on the Anthem Enhanced Choice. And with that, we've got Jerry Hunter from Anthem and Kathy Shiplett, Nancy Kazenko, Veronica Bruce, and Vince Sowell. And, you know, Jerry will be first chair with the Anthem ACA along with Kathy. Before we get to that, let's do some housekeeping. If you got a question, they go in the question box at the right. And probably, you know, around the 10:15 mark or so, we'll start doing questions. We're the dynamic duo, Eric and Geoff. We're the dynamic duo of the individual market. There's my information, my phone number, email address. If you have any questions about anything related to the individual health insurance market, give us a call. And be sure to check out our Monday Minute. We put a lot of our updates and details in the Monday Minute. So much going on, Medicaid redetermination, et cetera, et cetera. Earn up to $7,000 with Cornerstone's cash incentive program. Earn more when you sell more for all group and individual new business between January 1st and December 31st. You can earn points that'll bring you closer to a $7,000 cash prize. Check it out on our website. Let me move my screen a little bit. And as an ASP broker, that's Agency Services Program, you're the pilot of your business and we're your flight crew. The ASP is designed to help you make a plan for your business, your clients, your family, no matter the situation. And among the services provided are the Autopilot Client Referral Program. A Parachute is succession planning, and Flight Plan is retirement assistance. Learn more about it on our website in the Agency Services Program tab. And through the magic of technology, I'm going to pass things off to Kathy. Kathy, can you hear me?
Yes, I can. Thank you. And good morning, everyone. Thanks for joining us today. As Geoff mentioned, we're going to be talking a little bit about the AEC program, but this is not a product type webinar. What we're going to be doing is taking you through the steps of how to quote it, what your clients are going to see when they receive the quote, and the steps that they go through to enroll. So as you may know, AEC is Anthem Enhanced Choice, and this is our medically underwritten limited duration plan. It is up to 364 days, but members can reapply as many times as they like. As I mentioned, this is medically underwritten, and unlike some of the programs out there in the market, this is not a yes or no type deal. With medical underwriting, they can be underwritten and receive a rate up for medical conditions. So we have a broad range that they can select that underwriting can apply as far as ratings for members that may have some medical conditions, but not constitute a declination. So Jerry's going to take us through. And Geoff, I think you have me as the presenter. So if you can flip that over to Jerry, and he will be able to show his screen. He's going to take us through those steps. And once Jerry is done with the AEC process, we're also going to take you through Provider Finder and how to navigate that. So with that, I think I will turn it over to Jerry.
Thank you, Kathy. Good morning, everyone. As again, my name is Jerry Hunter. I'm with the Broker Field Support here at Anthem Cross Blue Shield. And today we're going to be going through the Anthem Enhanced Choice, our short-term limited duration product. So today our focus is going to be primarily on the broker initiating the quote and completing the application on the member's behalf, and then transferring that application to the applicant to submit And I'll also have a flow as well if the broker initiates the quote and sends out those quote proposals to the client for them to complete the application themselves. And we're also going to go briefly over, once they've actually got their approval, how they can submit their payment as well. All right, so just how to quote and submit applications through the Anthem Enhanced Choice. So you can either email the quote proposal directly from Producer Toolbox, and you can transfer the application for them as well. Just note that a broker cannot submit an AAC application on the client's behalf. It has to be submitted by the actual applicant. And they can actually do this through the Agent Connect through our self-serve tool as well. And we'll have a separate training session on Agent Connect on March 8th, and we'll go into more detail on that as well. So just a couple of things for those of you not aware. They have their own specific network, the Blue Access PPO in Ohio. You don't need a separate appointment to sell these products. You don't need a separate user name and password to sell these. These are all accessible through the Producer Toolbox login. And they also do not include any specialty products such as dental and vision. These are medical only plans. And as Kathy said before, they are 364-day term maximum products. So we're gonna go ahead and start. So once you've logged in from your Producer Toolbox, you'll see the dashboard listed here. You're gonna select the quotes and then the drop down for individual. It's gonna pull out a tab here for you to select the Anthem Enhanced Choice, and then you're gonna select Create a Quote. From there, you'll be redirected to the Quote and Apply page where you'll be able to enter in the zip code, select the county if they have multiple counties, and then select the effective date. The earliest effective date based off of when you do that application will be displayed, but you can select the effective date up to 90 days in advance. So once you do that, you'll hit the Start Quote button. And then it's going to ask just for the basic applicant demographic information, such as their name, date of birth, gender, email address, whether or not they've used tobacco, and then you'll hit Continue. And then it will take you to the plan selection screen. So you can select multiple options. For this scenario first, we're going to go through as if you are completing the application on the client's behalf, but you do have the opportunity to email the proposal to the client. You can select multiple plans and you can email it to them as well. And once you do email that, we have a default message here, just says who your quote's coming from, for them to select their plan and apply, or you can enter in your own custom message here, such as I'll be out of the office the rest of the week, please contact so-and-so. You can do that here as well. Also, I just wanted to note, so on the plan selection page, you can also view the brochure, you can search for drug formularies, you can find a doctor, or search by networks as well. So we're going to go ahead and start the application. So I do want to note here, so when we're going through these screens, this flow is going to be the exact same screens that the consumer is going to see on their end. So if you would have just emailed the quote proposal to them and they actually selected their plan and applied, they're going to see the exact same screens that you're seeing here in the broker flow. So there won't be any changes there. So once you hit apply, you're going to go ahead and after you selected your plan, you'll hit continue. And I also want to know that anytime during this application process, if you're on a section where you can't fill out or if the member doesn't have the information readily available, you can also transfer the application to them at any point during the application process and for them to continue it on their own. So after you selected your plan and you hit continue, it's going to ask for the primary applicant's demographic information, so such as their name, date of birth, height, weight, etc. And I also want to note that in this section here, it's going to be very important that if there are multiple applicants that you want to have added onto the policy, such as a spouse or dependent, you want to do it here at the very beginning. Otherwise, if you decide that you want to add them on later, you will have to start the process entirely over. So just keep that in mind when you're doing this. So after you enter in all the applicant's information, you're going to answer the eligibility questions, such as their residencies, or their legal resident, do they qualify for Medicare, Medicaid, etc. And then it's going to redirect you to their health history questions. We're just going to ask about their health histories, and then you'll hit continue. And this is just a detailed screen of the screen we just saw, because I know those screens are a little small. Just go in a little bit more details if you needed it on what information is going to be needed in what section. So after you've completed the application, again, you'll see the plan summary screen, which will list the deductible, their out-of-pocket, what their monthly premium is. And then at this point, you must transfer the application to the applicant to complete. Again, the agent cannot submit on the client's behalf. So once you've actually completed that application, you'll hit transfer applicant to consumer. It'll give you a message here. Again, it'll just give you a default message. It just says, please complete the application. But again, if you want to enter in something custom yourself or change the email address, you can enter all that information here as well. And then you'll hit transfer application. So from this point, we're going to switch over to the consumer flow on what happens after you transfer that application to the applicant. So what they're going to get is they're going to get an email, which we're going to see here, which is going to include their PIN number and then the button for them to complete their application. It'll also have your contact information out here as well, should they have any questions or any issues when they're doing this. So I want to make sure we point out, and specifically, I have it highlighted here in yellow, that the PIN number is what they're going to need to use to access this application. So they're going to make sure that they keep note of this and keep track of this email. Again, this is going to be in the initial email that you transfer to them for that PIN number. So once they receive that email from you or from our Anthem automated email, they're going to hit complete application, and they're going to be directed to our Anthem Enhanced Choice sign-in screen. So if they don't have an account already, they're going to go ahead and create a profile. And then here, this is just the information that it asks for them to create their profile. So they're entering their name, date of birth, address. They'll create a username and password, and then it'll ask them for some security questions if they forget their user information. So after they've created their profile, they're going to be taken to the screen where it's going to ask them for their PIN and the primary applicant's date of birth. So again, remember that PIN was in their initial email. So they're just going to copy and paste that PIN, and then they're going to enter it here. And then for the date of birth, they want to enter in the primary applicant's date of birth. So for example, if there's a subscriber, spouse, and dependent, they want to enter in that subscriber's date of birth, not the spouse or the dependent. So whoever that primary applicant is, that's the birthday that they want to use. And then they want to copy and paste that PIN into the actual PIN section here. And then they'll hit continue. So once they've get successfully logged in, they'll see their Anthem Enhanced Choice dashboard, which will show their in-progress application here. It'll list the plan that was quoted and applied for, the effective dates, what the premium is, the current status of the application, and the control number of that application. So the control number is something that we can use to track in case something happens or we need to follow up or make any changes. They can keep track of this as well. So from this section here, I also want to note that your agent information will also be up here at the top. So should they have any information or any questions, they can contact you directly. I have it hidden out here, hidden for the specific agent, but it'll be listed based off of your broker information. So once they're ready to complete, they're going to go ahead and complete application. It's going to take them over to their product overview page where they're just going to view the details. If they want to see the summary of the benefits or plans, they can do that as well. But once they are ready to accept the application, they're going to hit the button for I accept. And then it's going to give them their terms and conditions, which they're going to sign and submit. So they're going to sign the name as exactly as the primary name is entered. So it's also very important too when you enter that information that if there's anything missing, such as a junior or anything of that nature, we want to make sure that's done in the beginning, because we'll have to enter that name, key in that name exactly how it was keyed in on the application for the signature. They'll hit the I accept for the terms and conditions, and then for the use of PHI. And that is actually the inflow for here. So once your application is completed, they'll get an email confirmation saying the application is completed. It'll list their control number. And then once it is submitted to Anthem, it'll be approved within 20, or they'll get a status of the application within 24 to 72 hours. If it's approved, they'll get an email confirmation, which will give them directions on how to make the payment, and we'll go over that here shortly. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually go through a quick flow of, basically it's going to be the same thing that the consumer is going to see. So we're going to say, well, what happens if I just email the quote to them and have them complete it themselves? So again, the flow is going to be exactly the same as you just saw of the information they need to enter, such as their demographic information, the medical questions, et cetera. So the only difference is you're just going to email the proposal to the client here. And then once they get their email, they'll still get an email which will have the PIN, which you'll need to keep access of. And then they're just going to get the list of the plans that you quoted for them. They're going to select whichever plan they want to apply for. They'll hit that apply now. It'll redirect them to that login screen where they'll create their profile, their username and password. They'll need to enter in that PIN and date of birth of the primary applicant, again, as we stated before. And then they'll go through the entire process that you just saw previously that the broker saw. So they'll say you selected an excellent plan, they'll enter in the demographics, et cetera. And then the same thing here, they'll accept the terms and conditions, the use of PHI. And then they'll get their email confirmation as well. On this one, it'll have their control number and just to let them know that their application is approved. And again, it's the same process. It can be approved within 20, or they'll get a status within 24 to 72 hours, whether or not they're approved or if they're not, or if they need additional information. All right, so once they've gotten, so we're going to go through a scenario that the application was approved here. So they're going to get their email from underwriting just stating that their application is approved. They're going to click the link, which is going to take them to the AAC portal. Once they do that, they'll be taken to their quotes and applications dashboard screen where they'll have to review their eligibility letter. So they can review it either on the side of the control number or they can view it here under the print and download section. But they have to review that eligibility letter before they can continue. So once they've downloaded that letter, they'll get prompts, which will prompt them to just kind of confirm that they've read the decision letter. They'll check this box and they'll hit confirm. Then it'll take them to the section just letting them know that your application is approved, who was approved, the list of applications of everyone that was approved on the application. And then they'll be redirected to what their premium is. And then they can select their payment method here, whether it be electronic check, credit card, etc. For this next example, we did electronic check. So they're entering their banking information, then they'll hit complete application, and now they are officially enrolled. They'll get a confirmation, so they're happy that they have them here. They'll get their application control number, and then that is the end of the actual flow. Any questions?
Not at the moment. Not at the moment. I mean,
Okay.
I will add a couple things just to add some context. This AEC product is fantastic. It is more than just a short-term plan. It is something that all agents should focus on now, since we're outside of open enrollment and looking for other strategies for their clients. And it's a great PPO broad network, and we're seeing a lot of new business with this fantastic new product. And I may add just one technical aspect to this. Please don't do the application on a smartphone. My experience with doing any app for that matter on a smartphone is some of the data can be lost in translation. But I'm not sure if you can add to that jury or not. But I find that you need to use a good PC or a desktop or a laptop.
Interesting. Okay.
Yeah.
So the mobile app isn't. Is that just for the AEC, or is that for, are you seeing that for like any kind?
That's pretty much anything, in general, because my experience is when there's tracking agent information and client information, sometimes the mobile app isn't as robust as a rule. So perhaps you have a better mobile app than others, or a fix for that. But my experience is to do it on a PC.
Okay, that's good to know. Yeah, we'll definitely look into that. Thank you.
So
Okay. Well, if there aren't any other questions, we're going ahead and turn it over to Ben Curtis. He's going to review over how to search for providers and networks.
We're sitting here in the same room, so if you just want to leave it on to read, I can just take it from here. If that works.
great.
Okay. Well, hey everyone, I'm Ben Curtis, and I'm going to show you how to use the Provider Finder feature. I'm going to start from Anthem.com. This is the easiest way to get people to go through and find care. It's really simple. So we're going to start up here at the top on this green button, and we're going to hit Find Care. And it's going to take us to this next page where you're going to see three options at the top. You're going to see log in for a personalized search, use member ID for a basic search, or a basic search as a guest. If we're quoting somebody new, and just as a general rule, I like to use basic search as a guest. So it'll take you to this pop-up, and then here we're going to select a medical plan or network. We're going to select the state. We're going to select how we get health insurance. And we're going to do individual and families. I think this is where some people will get hung up. So when you get into this page, you want to make sure that you specifically state that you want to look up individuals or families for this instance. And then since we're focusing on the Anthem Enhanced Choice today, we're going to select the AEC Blue Access PP. And then hit continue. And it'll take us over here. I'm going to use a Columbus zip code today. So you just enter that in here at the top. And then you come over here and you can search by specialty. You can search by the doctor's name. I'm just going to do a simple search for a primary care physician. And right here at the top, it'll tell you the general filter. And then when we come down here, you can see that there are an absolute ton of providers in network. You can sort these by distance here. You can do alphabetical A to Z, Z to A, or if they want to look at something closer to home or in a certain part of town, they can do it here on the map view. And from the map view, you can come in and you can find specific providers that you want to use. So we can just use oncology here, just as an example. So once you pull up a physician's profile, you can come here. It's got the office hours. It'll tell you if they're accepting new patients. It'll tell you if they have a telehealth option. It'll tell you the languages spoken, their location, and you can see what affiliations they have as well. This one doesn't have any showing. Any recognitions that they have. And then here, you can see insurance plans that are accepted. And right here at the top, you can see that we have the Anthem Enhanced Choice Blue Access PPO, which is what we're looking for. And that's it. It's pretty simple. Do you have any questions on that piece?
Let me check. So far, no questions for that.
Okay.
You know, we'll take any and all questions about the product itself, or in particular the technology associated with it. So if you have any questions, just put them in the question box.
I would like to add that the product materials, the product guide is available on anthembrokerhub.com. So we always have the latest and most up-to-date information on Anthem Broker Hub. That way you can sort it by the individual products. If you're looking for a group, what state you're looking for, everything is housed there in that one place, all of your marketing materials. And our product guide is out there for the AEC plan. We also have an underwriting guide that is available that gives you more in-depth look at underwriting and conditions, that kind of thing. So if you're interested in that, we can make sure that Geoff has that available for you. But any questions that you have for us, we'd be happy to answer.
Okay, Kathy, can you still hear me?
Yes.
Okay, great. We do have a question. We want a little discussion about the product itself. Just kind of go over it. Can you give a thumbnail sketch or high-level view of just exactly what the Anthem Enhanced Choice is?
Sure. So Anthem Enhanced Choice, as we mentioned, is 364 days in Ohio. This is a short-term plan. It is medically underwritten, so they have to apply and be approved for it. The products, we have 8 different plans that are available to members, and we have a couple of them that include preventive care and have copays for all of the drug levels. Those are the most robust, and the look and feel of those plans is to be more like what you're accustomed to on a group plan. So it covers preventive care at 100%. There are co-pays for office visits and so forth. And then we have 2 plans like that, and then we have 6 plans that the preventive care goes towards the deductible and the co-insurance. And with those other plans, we cover the pharmacy tier 1 and tier 2 for the formulary. There are co-pays there, but there is no coverage for medications that are tier 3 or 4. So the coverage is a little skimmed down, if you will, but of course that goes along with the cost of care. So there are options depending on what you're looking for, what your clients are looking for, whether they want the preventive care, all the meds, everything, the look and feel of a group plan, or if they're just looking for price point, we have some plans available there as well. Deductibles start at $1,500 and go up to $8,000. So there's a wide range of price points that would be available on this plan.
Great. And just one follow-up question. The preventative now, is the preventative identical to what you'll see on an ACA plan, or is it its own list of preventative options?
It is, Vince, Nancy, do you want to jump in here? I don't want to say the wrong thing. I believe it is the same. The preventive care is the same. They can tell me if I'm incorrect on that.
You want me to take? I think they're on mute. I can take Vince off mute.
Okay.
Well, he's on mute. He's got to unmute himself.
Okay, that's fine. Preventive care is you know what? I'm going to double check on that.
We can provide that detail in a follow-up.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah. Okay. Let's see if there are any more questions here.
Actually, I just had to increase the size of this so I could read it. It is, the preventive care is the nationally recommended preventive care services from the network providers, and there's no copay, no co-insurance. So the preventive and wellness services consist of certain services, including well child care, immunization, prostate-specific antigen, the PSA screenings, pap tests, mammograms, recommended by the United States Preventive Services Task Force.
Oh, outstanding, outstanding. I've got another question. Is this product available in Kentucky and Indiana in addition to Ohio?
It is, but their products are different. Each state has their own products, and it may be a longer duration in the other states. With Ohio, we are limited to 364 days. In the other states, they are eligible to offer it up to 3 years, a 3-year term. So definitely make sure that you're looking at the right product for the right state, because there are differences across the states.
Is that a state law that prevents Anthem from doing 3 years in Ohio?
It is. When we first rolled this out, the intention was doing a 3-year duration. And unfortunately, ODI said, no, the longest we can do is 364.
Okay. And can you touch on the effective date? I know that's unique.
Absolutely, yeah.
Yeah.
So the effective date, as long as we have the application by the 25th of the month, the effective date can be the 2nd of the upcoming month. So say, for example, we apply today, the effective date would be March 2nd. And the reason that we do the 2nd of the month is because it is a 364, not a 365-day policy. That way, the end of the policy can align with, if they're going on to a group plan or then are in open enrollment for individual, anything like that, it will align better at the end. So we do the 2nd day of the month as the effective date, and we can do that as long as we get the application in by the 25th. If the application comes in the 26th or later, we skip that next month, and it would be effective April 2nd in this situation.
Wow, that sounds like a great option, particularly for folks that, skipped open enrollment. We're getting a lot of calls from people that say that, oh, can I get insurance right now? And they fail to act during open enrollment. So this might be a good option, right, Kathy?
Exactly.
Okay. We got another question. Just a comment. Okay, it's more of a comment. Plenty of people need coverage sooner and will have coverage in 3 months or a specific number of months. So, to that, what is the duration? What can they do, a month? Can they do any variation of that?
Absolutely. So it's the same process, and the policy will be available to them for the 364 days. But if they only need it for 3 months, it's the same. So they can terminate the policy at any time during those 364 days. And as a note to the brokers and agents that are selling it, this is a one-time payment of commission, and that will be the same regardless of whether it is the person stays on the policy for 3 months or the full duration of it. This is a one-time commission payment of $300. So you would receive that regardless of how long that person stays on the policy.
Great. And if I'm not mistaken, it's the Anthem Blue Access network, right? Isn't it the PPO
That is
network?
correct. Yep, it's the full network that we use for the group policies as well.
Well, there you go. Everybody's been clamoring about, I want a PPO. I want a PPO. And well, it's not available on the ACA, but just kind of wrapping up things and talking about the ACA. We'll talk more about Anthem's ACA products plus the Anthem Agent Connect system in our next webinar, which will be March 8th. So invitations will be going out for that in about 10 days or so. So keep an eye out for that. And as we wrap things up, did you have any final thoughts, Jerry or Kathy or anybody else on the call?
Yes, I just wanted to say that I will send out actually I'll send it to Kathy and Nancy. We do have a link to the job aid, which we do have like live videos with voiceovers on how to do enrollment. And it has a lot of different tools for all of our products on the producer toolbox. We'll send that out so you all have access to be able to view that as well.
Okay. My experience has been their application site is lickety-split. It's very easy to navigate and there's no issues. I think it's probably the best in the industry. So by all means, check it out on your producer toolbox. Anybody else have any more comments? Well, I just want to thank all of you. Terrific job today. And hopefully see everybody in 2 weeks for part 2 of this series. Thanks so much, everybody, and have a great day.
Thank you.
Thank you.